Okay, so what if the whole goal of tech education wasn't about getting people to pack up and move to Silicon Valley? What if instead it was all about empowering them to build the future right where they already live? Today, we're going to dig into a pretty radical new model that does exactly that, training a whole new generation of what people are calling blue-collar AI specialists.
So, yeah, that immediately brings up the big question, right? What in the world is blue collar AI? I mean, the name itself kind of sounds like a contradiction. But trust me, it's right at the heart of a vision that could completely reshape the future of work, especially for communities that have been, mostly left out of the big tech boom.
To really get it, you've got to see the difference between the old way and the new way. So on one side, you have the old model, those generic coding boot camps. They often lead to what's called brain drain, right? They pull all the best talent out of local towns and cities. But on the other side, you've got this new model. This is all about creating a sovereign data workforce. And that just means a workforce that actually owns, controls, and gets the benefits from the tech and the data in their own backyard. So how does this whole thing actually work in practice? Well, the engine behind it all is this really clever system they call the data flywheel. This is the secret sauce, the thing that connects learning directly to earning, which makes the whole model totally self-sustaining. Let's break down how it works. All right, so think about blue-collar AI like this. This is not about sitting in an office writing code. Not at all. It's about training the mechanics of the autonomous age. We're talking about the hands-on experts, the people who actually install, maintain, and fix the physical hardware of the future. Things like self-driving tractors, massive solar grids, and all the sensor networks that make that stuff work. And here's how that flywheel gets spinning. Step 1. It starts with real data, tons of it, pouring in from things like autonomous vehicles in Arizona and solar grids in Uganda. Step 2. That's the real work. Students learn by taking that live data and labeling it, basically teaching the AI how to handle weird, tricky situations. The edge cases, like what should a self-driving truck do if it suddenly hits a dust storm? And step 3, that work creates a real economy. Because by making the AI smarter, the students are creating immediate value, and that learning becomes a paid activity. And this phrase just perfectly sums up the benefit for the student. They are literally learning to earn from day one. It's not about going into debt, studying for years, and then hoping to find a job. The education is the job. That line between learning and earning, it's completely gone. So, where is this model actually making an impact out in the real world? Well, a really powerful first example is with tribal nations, and it's all centered on this critical idea: tribal data sovereignty. This is about completely flipping the script on history and making sure that indigenous communities are the ones who control and profit from the single most valuable resource of our time, their data. This is the core pitch, and wow, is it compelling. Think about it. Just like oil and other natural resources were taken from tribal lands in the past, today, data is the valuable resource that's being harvested by big tech. This whole model is designed to stop that history from repeating itself. And this isn't just talk. Here's the actual tangible solution. It's called the Edge Classroom, basically a high-tech school in a box. For an investment of somewhere between 50 and 150 grand, one of these solar-powered shipping containers, packed with Starlink and high-end computers, can be dropped right onto tribal land. And the impact? It can train about 20 local kids a year as sovereign network operators. These are the skilled techs who run the new digital infrastructure, creating amazing jobs that actually stay on the reservation. Now let's pivot to another key community this model is built for. The focus here is on retraining the rural workforce, building a bridge from the jobs of today to the jobs of the autonomous future. This is the From Diesel to Data initiative. This one question just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this massive economic shift that's happening. As farms and factories and shipping all become automated, who is going to fix the robots? The diesel mechanic of today has to become the data mechanic of tomorrow. And I'm telling you, right now there's a huge shortage of people who can do that. And the answer is a program like this Curb Car Tech certification. It's a hands-on curriculum that teaches people how to diagnose and repair autonomous electric vehicles. The funding is for real physical stuff: the tools, the diagnostic tablets, the spare EV parts. It creates a direct pipeline from the classroom right into these awesome, high-paying blue-collar AI jobs. Okay, so this is a fantastic vision, right? But how does it actually get funded and become a reality? Well, this isn't just a dream.
It's a super practical plan with a really clear tiered strategy for getting the investment it needs to get off the ground.
The funding model is broken down into these really clear, accessible tiers. For just $5,000, you can fund a sovereign fellow, which gives one student a full ride and a laptop. For $75,000, you can build an entire edge lab to retrofit a rural school with all the tech. And for $250,000, a tribal bridge investment can create a permanent campus on tribal land. It's a totally scalable model designed so that anyone from an individual to a big foundation can jump in and help.
So far, we've been focused on the local classroom, right? But here is where the vision just gets huge. Each one of these individual academies we've been talking about is designed to be a single node in a much, much larger, globally connected infrastructure. They call it the Octagon Network.
And this slide gives you a real sense of that global ambition. I mean, check this out. Every node in the network has a very specific job. You've got the brain up in Canada handling software and cold weather tests. You've got the blast furnace in Arizona for extreme heat R&D. The engine in Uganda is this massive industrial anchor. The arbitrager in Texas studies energy grids. There's even a mobile UN 2.0 node for humanitarian aid. So every single local classroom we talked about is actually a gateway into this incredible global ecosystem.
And that brings us right back to the final and most crucial point. This entire complex global network is built on one simple, really powerful idea. It's not about taking talent out of communities. It's about building them up. It's about training people to stay and build the sovereign infrastructure that's going to power their own hometowns. Which leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? What if the future of tech isn't in a handful of big coastal cities, but it's actually in the hands of communities everywhere?